Hello, everyone. Happy Wednesday. So glad to have you all here. We'll get started momentarily, but I did just repost the playlist link in the comments, the chat section. Hi, Lori. Already a glass of wine in. Good. It's a good start for yoga. But I did just post the playlist link in the chat feature if you would like some music for your practice tonight. Go ahead and grab that. I'll let you know when to start it. Let's see if I want to say, oh, yes. So there's information about this in our Insta story. Jamie's taking the lead on this. Huge thanks to Jamie for doing this. But we bought a bunch of gift certificates and gift cards for a lot of the breweries and wineries that we partner with normally. And we're going to be giving those away over the next couple weeks after these classes. So what you can do after class is post a picture of your home practice, your home space, maybe the fur children who joined you for practice tonight, and just tag us in it, either on Instagram or in the Facebook event for our live streams. And we'll randomly draw one winner tomorrow for a gift certificate or a gift card to Be Squared here in Salem. And we'll be doing a combination of Salem breweries and wineries and some of our Portland partners as well. So look for that. Really excited to have you here. If you've not practiced with me before, I'm Mikki. Shanti is here, but you might not see her. She went to the vet today, so she's a little tired and traumatized, but she's okay. And I'm looking forward to this practice. I actually had an entirely different practice planned for tonight, and my body was just very much feeling this practice tonight. So this is what we're doing instead. I hope it's what you need as well. So we're going to come on down to our backs. We'll just lie down onto our mat. I left this. One more note before we settle in. If you have any technical issues during class, if you can't hear me or anything, just please throw a comment in the chat section, and I'll keep my eyes on that during class just to make sure we're all good to go. All right, so down on our backs. And I want you for right now just to get comfortable. Maybe legs are bent, maybe legs are straight. Let your hands be anywhere where the shoulders feel comfortable and at rest. And let's all collectively take a big breath in and a full breath out. You might open your mouth and let it go. We're going to do that a couple times. So I want you to breathe in and fill up as much as you possibly can. And then open your mouth and let it go. Again, breathe in. And just observe yourself as you open your mouth and let your exhale go. What softens, what relaxes, what releases. We're going to continue to breathe here, and you might invite yourself to continue to exhale through the mouth, taking that big sort of audible sigh and release. You might need that tonight. That might feel really good. At some point, you might transition into exhaling through the nose, but continuing to notice the releases that happen as you breathe out. Each and every exhale has the potential and the opportunity physiologically, psychologically, and physically to release. And so let your mind notice what lets go, what softens as you breathe out. And let's guide that just a little bit more. Let's notice your fingers and toes in this moment. And make sure they're not clenching or tense. Just let them be really easy and relaxed. Let's notice your back molars and the back of your jaw, and let the molars separate from one another. And you might even move that bottom jaw side to side a little bit. And one more time, let's shift the awareness now to sort of the supple, soft part of your belly and your abdomen. And just allow there to be a great sense of ease there. When you breathe in, let there be nothing stopping that expansion of air and breath. And let there just be this easy release as you breathe out. The release in each and every exhale. And let's take our arms up overhead and get really, really long. And it sounds really simple. And sometimes simple is the best. But every time you exhale in your practice tonight, I want you to invite something to release and soften. And you might even silently say that to yourself. Every time you exhale, you might just say the word release or letting go or some word that kind of triggers that relaxation response for you. As you exhale this time, let's bring your right knee into your chest. Let your hands come down onto your shin or your thigh and give that leg a hug in. And then super easy and fluid, let's inhale and take your hands up and back behind you. That right leg releases to the ground. We'll alternate side to side there a couple times. Exhale, bring it in. The left leg. Inhale, release. Arms overhead, legs long. And let's just find your rhythm there. Exhaling to bring a leg in. It'll change each round. Inhale to release. Alternating to the other side as you exhale. And inhale, release. Getting lost in that movement for a few breaths. Moving at your own pace there, side to side. Let's do one more on the right. One more on the left. And then release legs on the ground and arms overhead once again. And then let's bring both knees into your chest. If you're using that playlist and it's close by, now would be a good time to push play. And let's, with the arms holding the legs, let's just rock a little bit side to side. Feel the weight shift across the back of the head, across the back of the shoulders, the low back. And we're going to open your arms into a T and float your knees right over your hips. I want you just to imagine that you're holding maybe like a beer bottle or a beer can between your knees. It could also be a block or a water bottle. You're going to keep that gentle hug in. We're just going to simply exhale and start to take your knees toward the right. You have to come back up, so don't go too low. And then inhale, back up. Exhale toward the left. Grounding into your right arm and shoulder. Inhale, back up. And this is our pattern here for a few rounds, exhaling toward the right. And each round, you might get a little closer to the ground. Inhale, back up. Exhale toward the left. Inhale, back up. How about we go two more to each side? Staying with your breath. And as always with yoga, and especially these classes, if at any point you need to skip things or change things, feel free. Just always give yourself permission to do what you need and only what you need tonight. One more to each side. And as you come up to center this next time, let's hug the legs into the belly one more time. And let's curl your head and chest and shoulders up toward your knees. Some of you might actually reach down and hold on to the feet for a breath or two. And then we're going to start to roll up and down your spine and bring our way up and over into table pose, any way that works for you. As you find your table pose, let's get the spine moving a little bit. And as those of you that practice me a lot here, cat and cow is really just an exaggeration of the shape of our breath. So as you inhale, let that belly be so, so soft and fill up with air. Let the spine respond, the hips lift, the head lifts. And then as you exhale, this really gentle hollowing of the belly, the emptying out of the belly, spine rounds, head falls. We'll go back and forth there a couple times. Inhale, belly drops, head and heart lift. And exhale, round. Moving at whatever pace in your breath feels really nice tonight. And again, every single time you exhale, what can release? What can soften? Our reality is often determined by what we give focus to, what we allow our mind to focus on. And so, here in your practice tonight, really allowing the focus to be on those sensations of release, of ease, of letting go. And let that be what your brain focuses on tonight in our practice. Let's take one more round here. As you inhale this next time, we're going to find your halfway between cat and cow, so table pose. And let's start to float your right leg back, but tonight we're going to keep the knee bent. So the right foot, the sole of the foot will kind of be pointing toward the sky. Give a firm hug in of that outer left hip and a little gentle engagement of low belly. So you're not just sort of sinking into the mid spine, but you've still got that table shape. You could have an entire taster tray of little mini beers at the spine. And all I want you to do right now is just to start to kind of raise the roof with that right foot. Just give little tiny kicks. So you're not straightening the leg. It's just going up and down, up and down, up and down. Give one more kick up. And then as you exhale this time, let's round the spine. Bring the knee in toward the nose. Inhale, kick the leg back. Let's do that 2 more times. Exhale, bring the knee in. Inhale, kick it back. Your left leg or left hand might join the party. Don't do left leg. That's impossible. By reaching forward. Exhale, bring it in. And then let's get long. Right leg, maybe left arm, reaching forward and back. Option to stay here. Option to bend that back leg one more time. Option to reach back with that left hand and attempt to find the foot. Now, if the foot wants its personal space tonight, just sort of reach the two toward each other. If it happens easily without struggle, then push the foot into the hand. Wherever you're at, any of those options are great. Big inhale, fill up. Soften, release, let go of something as you exhale. One more inhale here. And slowly exhale, release. Hand to the ground, shin to the floor. Inhale, cow pose. And exhale, tuck the toes, downward facing dog, hips to the sky. As you settle into your down dog for a couple breaths, we have that other side to do, but we're going to give the knees a break. Let's just pedal the feet out here a couple times. Let's separate those back molars. Let the jaw maybe move a little side to side. You talk funny when you do that. Sorry about that. And then let the knees come right back down into your table shape. Untuck your toes, ground into that right shin, and let's take your left leg up into that sort of box shape with the sole of the foot pressing toward the ceiling. Little tiny kicks. Notice the belly. and the stability of the right leg and hip. And then let's exhale, bring that left knee in toward the belly, round the spine. Inhale, kick it back. One more time like that, bring it in. Inhale, kick it back. Maybe the right arm goes forward. We'll bring it in, knee and or elbow, and get long. Inhale. And then let's pause. Get long. Feel a sense of lifting away from the floor. You might stay here. You might rebend that back leg. You might stay there. Right hand can reach back. The hand and the foot might just kind of long for each other, or they might connect. Wherever you're at, steady inhale. Soften something with the exhale. Again, breathe in and release with your exhale. Inhale, cow. Tuck your toes, downward facing dog. Little pedal of the legs here once again. As you bend one knee, really lengthen through the opposite heel. So you've got one leg really straight as one leg bends. And then let's take both heels toward the floor. And let's take your right leg lifted up and back toward the ceiling. Now, if this is too much, the right foot can stay on the ground. We have a couple breaths here. Option 2 is to start to bend your right knee and roll the right hip to stack over your left. So it's kind of like you're trying to lift your right knee to touch the ceiling. Try to keep both arms straight, your shoulders square to the ground. And then however it works for you, we're going to bring your right foot forward between your hands. Let that back knee come on down to the ground. If you need to pad in some way, take some time to get some padding for the knee. And let's bring both hands up onto your front thigh. As you exhale, we're going to push into your hands, hollow the belly. The hips will stack just a little bit more. And then inhale, let the hips slide forward, let the heart lift, and let everything soften. So I call this the lunge with the party. And then as you exhale and push into the thigh, this is the lunge without the party. So this is all the work. And then let all that work go. Inhale and exhale. Press into the thigh and round. So the trick here, the work, is in that exhale as you start to find engagement. Let's inhale and release. As you push into the thigh and find engagement with your exhale, can you still continue to release something? So there's this beautiful balance of effort and ease. One more time here. Inhale, release. Push into the hands, push into the thigh. Exhale, round. And then let's take your hands down around your front foot. Tuck your back toes under, lift that back knee. Downward facing dog. It doesn't need to be graceful. Just find a way to get that leg back. Let's drop your head really heavily between your arms. Give it a little shake. No. Let the head turn side to side. Give the head a nod yes. And then left leg goes up and back. Remember, this is an option you don't have to take. So the left foot can stay grounded. The left leg can lift and stay neutral. Or you can bend the knee and stack your left hip over the right. Left knee is lifting toward the ceiling. And then when you're ready, however it works for you, left foot between your hands. Back knee comes on down to the ground. Hands come up onto your front thigh. With your first exhale here, we'll push into the hands, push into the thigh, coil the belly back, feel the hip stack. And then inhale, let it all go. Press into the thigh, coil back. Inhale, release. Finding your rhythm here and just exploring for yourself That ability to find ease, to find release, even amongst the effort. About 2 more. And then we'll let your hands come down around the front foot. Tuck your back toes under, lift that back knee off the ground, and let's step forward, feet at the top of the mat. Soft, gentle bend to your knees. Let's just slide your fingers up the shins. Let the spine get really flat. So, again, sort of that table spine, the taster tray spine. And then exhale, fold. Let's grab opposite arms or elbows and let the head and the arms be super, super heavy here. Let those shoulders come all the way around the ears. Check in with the jaw and the back of molars. The spot right between your eyebrows. And then let's bend the knees a little more and roll yourself up inch by inch by inch, all the way to standing. When you've made your way upright, let's take hands to the sky. Close your eyes and just pause. And I want you to imagine that you're hanging from the chandelier here, or monkey bars, or a pull up bar. Just imagine yourself hanging with gravity. Let the supple parts of you expand as you breathe in. And invite and allow things to release as you breathe out. One more big breath here. Let the hands gently come together, palm to palm, and let them settle down into your heart. Let's begin to move a little more. So either going forward with the hands or to the sides. We'll inhale, hands go up. And exhale, soft bend to the knees, let's fold. Let your fingers slide up the shins, halfway lift, and you never have to keep the legs all the way straight there. You could always have a soft bend to the knees. And then exhale, we'll fold and let the left leg step back. So have the feet about hip width apart, side to side, and then it's up to you and how much you feel like working tonight, if you want that back knee down for this round or if you want it off the ground. Left hand's going to stay on floor, and right hand is coming up toward the sky. Anytime we're in this sort of T shape with the arms and it doesn't feel good in your shoulder, you can bring hand to hip instead. I'm going to give a few more options here. And if you're happy where you're at, I want you just to pretend like I became the Charlie Brown teacher voice. Wah, 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 wah. And you can tune out all of the other options from here. So you might stay here for a few breaths. If you're feeling like I've got some energy to burn tonight, you might float that left hand off the ground and just ever so gently float it up until your arms are parallel to the ground. Right arm back, left arm forward. Feeling at the end of every exhale, wherever you're at, that kind of hollowing of the belly, the engagement that we did when we were pushing into the front thigh in our lunge. Let's stay wherever you're at for one more breath. And then as you exhale the next time, we'll bring both hands down around your front foot. Any way that works for you, downward facing dog. You are invited to stay right here. If you want to keep moving, inhale. Let's come forward to plank. Knees on the ground for this first one. Even weight across the surface of your palm. Let's bend your elbows straight back and lower chaturanga all the way to the belly. At the bottom there, untuck your toes. Inhale, let's pull back on your hands. Lift your heart, lift your head. Exhale, lower. One more time like that. Pull back on the hands instead of pushing down. Let your upper back do the work of lifting you. And lower. Inhale, table pose. And downward facing dog. Breathe in fully. Notice and feel release as you breathe out. And anytime in our practice tonight that you need to take that big inhale through the nose and open your mouth explosively to let your exhale go, let yourself do it. If it feels nice in your body, let's take the left leg up. You might choose to open that hip again if that option felt good to you, and then foot between the hands any way that you enjoy. Your choice of back knee down or up. Right hand is staying grounded, left hand is coming to the sky. You can stay here, you can float that right hand and start to make that slow transition up to arms parallel to the ground. Feeling at the end of each exhale that little effort to protect your spine within that release and that ease that you're establishing. As you exhale the next time, both hands come down. And we'll step into that front foot. Bring your right foot forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up, reach up. Exhale, hands to heart. Let the eyes close, the gaze drop. There will be more movement, but in this moment, let there be pause. Let there be that uninterrupted attention to your breath. And that noticing and observing over and over again of the release. When you're ready, hands go up as you inhale. And we fold with our exhale. Halfway lift with your inhale. And feel yourself releasing and folding as you exhale. Left leg stays this time, right leg steps back. We're going to start with the back knee on the ground, back toes tucked under. Let's come up into your low lunge, hands to the sky. As you exhale, we'll bring hands to heart, tip forward, and then start to rotate so that your right elbow either is on top of the left thigh or latched outside it. If this is not going to work in your body, the alternative is to do a T shape in the arms with the right arm outside the left thigh. Couple easy breaths here. And those of you that are wanting more, with those back toes tucked under, all you have to do is lift the knee. Try not to get caught up in the twist and the pose and the options. Feel the supple areas expand as you breathe in. Invite and encourage and notice that release as you breathe out. One more inhale here. From wherever you're at, hands come down. Downward facing dog. Option to stay. Option to move forward with your inhale. Knees up or down will lower toward the belly with your exhale. And with your inhale, we'll lift. You might start to push down into the hands a little bit this time and lift higher into cobra if you'd like. Back to the belly as you exhale. Table or plank with your inhale. And downward facing dog. As you settle into this down dog, let's roll to your tiptoes as you inhale. And drop your heels toward the ground as you exhale. Do that 2 more times, just like a wave. Lifting, lowering. One more time. As the heels drop, we'll keep that left heel dropping. Right leg goes up and back if that feels nice. You might keep the leg neutral. You might bend the knee and stack the hips. And then right foot comes forward any way that works between your hands. Back knee to the ground, but let's keep those back toes tucked under if that works. We'll come up low lunge, hands to the sky. As you exhale, we'll tip hands to heart, left elbow on top of or outside of your right thigh. Feel the breath. Allow yourself to take a deep, full breath. Those of you that want more, with those back toes tucked under, all you have to do is lift the knee and straighten the leg. And then hands come down around the front foot, and we step forward, feet together. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. And let's rise up all the way to standing. Instead of bringing hands to heart, as you exhale, let's lower your arms parallel to the ground. And we're going to do our best as we go through this next thing to keep the hips pretty even. So we're going to try not to do a whole lot of rotation in the hips. So we're going to take your right arm, just your right arm, drop it down and back. The palm will turn to face the right side of the room. And the left hip, you're going to need to probably cinch it back just a little bit because it's going to want to roll forward with the arms in the chest. Left hip pulls back. And then drop that right hand down and forward. Exhale, left hand goes down and back. Resist your right hip back in space. Inhale, hand goes down and forward. Exhale, right hand down and back. Left hip resists. Inhale, down and forward. Exhale, left hand down and back. Inhale, down and forward. You have the opportunity to do this twice more here, or those of you that are like me and enjoy the chair pose, Jamie, you can do this in chair pose. Exhale, right hand drops down and back. Same work in the hips. Left hip cinches back. Inhale, down and forward. Exhale, left hand down and back. Down and forward. Those of you in chair might sit a little deeper. Last round. Right hand down and back. Down and forward. Last one, left hand. Down and forward. Let the legs straighten. Let the hands go up toward the sky. Let's shift into your right foot and bring your left knee up toward your chest. Stand tall. Imagine that left foot has something to push down into. And then let's just switch the legs so the foot is pulling in toward the butt. Just a couple breaths there. Try not to turn it into a big back bend, just a really stacked, tall body. And then start to root into your right heel. Bend that right knee, and let's take it back as slowly as you can manage into your lunge. Inhale, straighten the front leg. Get tall, get long. Exhale, bend the front knee. Let's do that one more time. Inhale, lift, and bend with your exhale. Let's take your arms parallel to the ground, just like you were doing in chair and Tadasana. As you exhale the next time, right hand is going down and back. And we're going to pause there like you're trying to hand a beverage to the person in front of you and behind you if there were people there. You're welcome to stay here if you'd like and just get long through your arms. Feel that little gathering of your belly within each exhale. Some of you might start to tip right hand toward the back leg. It might touch, it might not. Left hand up toward the sky. One more full breath here. And then let's inhale, both hands simply back up. Lose all rotation and twist. And let's drop your back heel. Open up, warrior two. Let's bend into that front knee. Let the front knee sort of head more toward the pinky toe side of the foot than the big toe side. So you feel a little length down that inner thigh. And let's reverse. Left hand down the back leg, right hand goes up and back. And then as you inhale, we'll straighten the front leg. And exhale, bend the front knee. How about 2 more there? Inhale, straighten and bend, straighten and bend. We'll come up, warrior 2. We'll bring your hands to your heart. Turn all 10 toes so they face the long edge of your mat. Feet are parallel. And let's take your hands back behind you into a clasp. So it can be thumbs, or it can be all of your fingers, or it could just be 2 fists, kind of in a superhero cape behind you. Any of those options are great. And we're going to fold at your hips, over your legs, and allow the arms to fall any amount away from your back without force. If that's too much on the shoulders, hands can come to the ground instead, or to your outer legs. Take some deep breaths. Breathe into the space that there is to breathe into, and create more space as you exhale. Let's release the hands to the ground if they're lifted. Inhale, push the ground away, lift up halfway. Feel those heels root down into the floor. Belly is strong. Float your hands onto your hips and then slowly lift all the way back up. Let's turn all 10 toes to face forward and step back into chair. Hands to heart or hands to sky, your choice. We're going to sit down any amount, but you're going back up nice and slowly. So then slow and steady. Inhale and come all the way up to standing. 2 more times. Slow and steady down. Slow and steady back up. Listen to your knees, listen to your ankles. 1 more time. As you stand up, this time hands come to heart. Pause. Notice your breath. Notice the influence, the effect of your exhale. And then blink the eyes open, hands to sky. Weight into your left foot, right knee comes up. Find that strong line of yourself. Change as little as possible. Just relocate that foot behind you. And then start to press your left heel into the floor. Bend that left knee. And as slowly as you can, sometimes it doesn't end up being slow, but we try. Step back into your lunge. Inhale, straighten the front leg. And exhale, bend the front knee. Just feel that release there. Inhale, get big, get tall. And exhale, settle in. And let's take your arms forward. Right arm's going to stay forward. Left hand will drop down and back. Feel that expanse through the arms. Fingers forward and back, really broad across the chest and the collarbones. Powerful back leg. You might choose to stay here. Some of you might start to drop. Left hand down the back leg, right hand toward the sky. And it doesn't matter if that hand touches the leg or not. Slowly we'll bring both hands back up toward the ceiling. Drop the back heel open, warrior 2. Inhale, let's straighten the front leg, reach the hands up. Exhale, bend the front knee, lower the arms. One more time. Reach up, create length, and release. Right hand down the back leg. Keep that front knee bent for now. Left hand back. We'll keep the shape in the upper body. Inhale, straighten the front leg. And then exhale, bend. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. One more time. And at the end of this exhale, we'll take both hands down around your front foot. Back heel lifts. Downward facing dog. Invitation to stay here or to keep moving. Inhale, plank. Knees up or down will lower. Inhale to a height in your back bend that creates space and honors space. Exhale, lower. Inhaling to table or plank. And downward facing dog. Final round of standing postures here. Right leg goes up and back. Can stay neutral, it can open, your choice. With an exhale, we'll bring the right foot forward between your hands. We'll drop your back knee to the ground. Left hand is staying, right hand is going up and maybe back. This might be all there is. You might just feel that reach back. Some of you might pull the left foot toward the right hand, and the two might kind of just reach for each other, or they might connect. Leaving yourself enough space to feel release as you breathe out. And then without slingshotting that back foot, we'll release. Take that right arm up and forward and outside your right leg. Let's tuck your back toes under. Step forward into chair. Inhale, chair pose. Stay for your exhale, sit any amount more. And then as you inhale, we're coming onto that right foot, left knee comes up towards your chest. This time you can reach down and hold the shin or the thigh. Option to stay here and work on balance. Option to reposition that left leg behind you. Hands could come to heart like we did last time. Option to reach back with your left hand, grab the foot or your stretchy pants, and play with dancer pose. Left leg back, right hand forward. This is a great one to do holding onto a wall or a bookcase or a couch with your free right hand. And then wherever you're at, let's release back into your lunge. Big reach up. And we're going to let your hands come down around that front leg. One more time, I want you to bring that back knee down. And I want you to position your front shoulder. I'll try to move my left arm so you can see. Try to position your front shoulder so the front of the shoulder is actually resting on your thigh. That right arm's just going to dangle. And then I want you to sort of slump into that right leg. Let the right leg hold your right chest up completely. Let the arm be limp. Let the head be limp. Big inhale. Feel and invite release as you breathe out. Slowly put some life back in that right arm. Right hand to the ground, tuck your back toes under, lift the knee. Downward facing dog. Maybe you take that vinyasa, rolling through plank, lowering toward the belly and taking your back bend. Maybe you find a few breaths of stillness in down dog. Stay with your breath. Each and every exhale, including that invitation to release, like a big sigh out of your body. And then when you're ready, let's finish this off. Left leg goes up and back. It can stay neutral or it can open. With an exhale, however, whenever, foot between the hands. We'll bring your back knee down to the ground. Right hand's going to stay planted. Left hand will go up and back. That is plenty. That might be where you stay. Or that back foot might pull in toward the hand. Try not to struggle for it. If they don't want to be friends tonight, allow the foot and the hand to practice social distancing as well. Just let them have their space. Soft and easy, release. Left hand comes down outside the left foot. Back knee lifts as those toes tuck under. We'll step the right foot forward, coming back into what I believe is your final chair. But you know I never make promises about that. Let's come into your left foot. Bring your right knee up toward the chest. And we'll reach down and hold on to your shin or your thigh this time. Feel that line of through the body. You're invited to stay here, or right foot comes toward the back side. Hands could be at heart. Or right hand reaches back for the right foot or your stretchy pants. And you tip into dancer pose. You might be a little wobbly, but try not to have struggle in terms of touching the foot or going too deep into the pose. Enough space that you can feel release each and every time you exhale. Slowly we'll release the foot. Take it all the way back into your lunge. Hands come down. Back knee comes down. And we'll put your the front of the left shoulder, kind of where your pec is, on top of the left thigh. Let that arm just drape. And let the body collapse into the support of that left leg. Can you legitimately get heavier every time you exhale? And then once again, find some life in that left arm, hand flat. Downward facing dog, final opportunity for that vinyasa, final opportunity for some breaths here. And then we'll lower the knees down to the ground. For those of you that knees don't allow you to sit back on the heels, you don't have to sit on the ground between the legs, but on the heels. Your option, if this isn't comfortable, is to stay up here with hips over knees, to take a clasp behind the back, and just to find a good amount of space in the chest and the upper back. It's a mild camel pose. Those of you that feel comfortable sitting like this, we're going to do something we don't do a ton of because it gets a little dancey for my liking, but you're at home, so you can dance like no one's watching. So remember that this is here, this option, this mild camel, if you don't want to get a little dancey. So with your hips on your heels, we're going to take your left hand behind you, kind of outside that left foot. Let your hips lift, and we'll take your right arm and reach it sort of up and back. And then we'll bring the hips down, sort of sweep that right arm forward, let the left arm come. Right hand will come outside your right foot on the floor, and the hips will lift, and that left arm swings around and back. I'm just going to do that side to side. Try not to worry about what you look like. I'm the only one that people can see. And just move in a really easy way, side to side. Remember that mild camel option with the clasp behind your back is there for you. We'll go a couple more times to each side. Let's go one last round to the left. One last round to the right. And then come back to center and let's sit on the heels. So our next stop is child's pose. Those of you that the seat is not comfortable, feel free to let forehead come to the ground and bow in. Those of you that this is comfortable, you might want to stay for just a couple breaths. And then let's crawl ourselves forward. Let the knees go as wide as they need to for a comfortable child's pose. And we'll bring forehead to the ground, or you could stack your hands and let your forehead come to the back of the hands. The ultimate pose to feel that release in. Not for all of us, but for many of us. If this pose does not provide that opportunity for you, you might come up to seated instead, or even down onto the belly. Just give yourself a few moments here, whatever shape you've chosen, to feel the fullness of your inhale and that fullness of your exhale and the benefits that it provides. Let's peel ourselves up from our child's pose. And we're going to kind of come up off the heels. I'm going to actually turn so I'm facing you. We're going to come up off the heels and take our hips to the right and let your legs sort of splay out toward the left. So we're going to take a pose called stag pose. So your legs are in two separate V's. It can be right angles. It can be a little less than a right angle, whatever feels comfortable. And just make sure that ankles, knees, hips all feel good. And then we're going to take a rotation towards your right knee. Some of you might just want to stay upright. Awesome. Some of you might want to walk the hands forward and fold over that right leg. So there's not really a perfect template for your legs in the way I'm instructing it tonight, other than I don't want there to be any pain or discomfort. So sort of shimmy your angles around until it feels really easy and soft. And then depending on your body, you might be able to stack the hands in some way where the head is able to relax down. Let's continue those really deep, full breaths. Observing the release each and every time you exhale. And within this practice of observing and noticing the release, it also sheds light and helps us to be aware of tension when it starts to creep in. But the focus is on the soft parts. We're going to ease ourselves up. If you're folded, walk your hands in. A couple ways you can do this. So you can sort of just windshield wiper over to the other side if you've got room, or you can sort of swivel onto the other butt cheek. We'll ultimately end up with those legs, knees pointed toward the left, feet over toward the right. Again, you can choose to stay upright if you'd like. Make sure that there's not any discomfort in any of your lower body joints. Take that little rotation toward that left knee, and maybe you stay upright, maybe you fold. If the head can be supported on something, let it come down. One more breath here. Fill up. So full. And then maybe you open your mouth and let it go. Walk your hands in and up. And then as gently and delicately as you can, let's come on down to our back. As you find your back, let's bring the knees in. And you can choose between Apanasana, which is hugging the knees in to the belly and to the chest. If you'd prefer Happy Baby, you can open the knees and grab onto the outer edges of the feet or the ankles. And either of those, allow there to be some focus, some awareness of your spine releasing down into the ground. Feel the head being held by the floor. And then let's bring your legs back together if they're open into child's pose. Take your arms out into a T, and we're going to drop both of your knees over toward the right. Those legs can be stacked, or you can separate the legs just a bit into two separate Vs. Letting ourselves settle here into a supine twist. And on a scale of 0 to 10 effort, let this be like a 2. Let it be really soft and sweet. Shift around until you feel that minimal effort. And every time you exhale, feel the sensations of release. Inhale, let the knees come back up over the hips. And when you're ready, we'll take knees toward the left. Minimal effort. Maximum release. Guide yourself back to center, and if there's another shape or movement you need, take some time for it. But if you're ready, just let yourself spread out and get comfortable here for your Shavasana, your final relaxation and rest. Any shape that allows you to be easy and comfortable will work. Just try to stay with it. It's easy at home to check out now. Sometimes when I need a deep release, I'm quite a water lover. Sometimes imagine that I'm laying on the beach, like right where the waves break. I'm just sort of feeling the crash of waves of water kind of rushing up your body as it makes its way onto shore. And then as the tide pulls out, that water rushing down your body as it moves away from the beach. However, you find and feel that sensation of release in your body, allow that to be really present here and now. Maybe it's a visualization, maybe it's a particular area of your body that you focus on. Maybe it's a word. So much of what we practice here on our mat is reestablishing of patterns, kind of like a muscle memory, development of our focus and qualities of our mind and our breath. And so before you start to stir and come up and head off into the night, take a moment here to one more time notice and feel and connect with the sense of release and relaxation, even if it was minor, that you were able to find tonight. And just tuck that within yourself as a tool to tap into as you navigate the hours and days and weeks ahead. This ability to observe, to feel, to find that sense of release. When you're ready, let's start to add some movement back into your body. Movement that gradually wakes you up, starts to help you find your way over to a side eventually, and then little by little up to a comfortable seat. As you find that seat, let your palms come together in front of your heart. Just taking a moment in our own spaces and our homes to acknowledge the community of people that gathered together tonight, that all moved and breathed together, separate but together. Thank you all so much for practicing with me and with each other. The light within me honors the light within each of you. Namaste. Thank you guys so very much. This was a pleasure. I hope you enjoyed this practice. It was definitely what I needed tonight. We're going to head over to Zoom if you want to hang out and chat. No pressure. It's just there if you need to see some faces and connect. And cheers. Definitely, if you're not going to come hang out in Zoom, though, I encourage you to reach out to a fellow yogi or somebody that you normally practice with or work out with or hang out with. And thank you so much. We'll do this again Saturday morning at 10 a.m. With coffee, but beverage of your choice. And then next week, Monday and Wednesday at 6 p.m. as well. If you'd like to support in some way, there's information on how to do that in the description of the video and on our website. And I'll post really quickly again the Zoom link if you want to come hang out. Take care of yourself, you guys. Sending all of my love and lots of deep breaths. Thank you guys so much. Lori, I'm glad you enjoyed the dancey part. I'm gonna post the Zoom link right now, Kathleen. Give me just a moment. Oop. All right, there's the Zoom link. We're gonna head over there. I'm gonna go grab a beer. Come hang out if you'd like. If not, we'll see you soon. Hi, Em.